Howdy folks, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. We have a 7 to do, but we also have a 3 to do, which I just found over here. 3. Okay, shape bank. These 2, 2x2, and a T-shape. Well, you're a T-shape. Thanks. So you are... Well, you can't be a T-shape with this. So you're just a 2. So you do this, and the only shape you could be at that point is a 2x2. Right? I think that's true. That's true, and then I think that forces this to be 2 2s like this. You can come up here. You might stop there. You might be a T. It's still possible. Yeah, that's very possible. You can't go this way. You can't go any... No, you can go further to the north. You can't be that. So yeah, we could either close you off or go both. Yep. Those are the options. Well, so you're like this. Which means you can only be this. Yes. So then you're this. And you're this. And you're this. And you're this. And you're that. Cool. Okay, back to the 7. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? No, but whatever. Okay, Precision 5 Palisade Polyomino. Hopefully all the polyominoes are 5. They are. That's good. Size of the grid is 100. Precision 5. Okay, there's going to be 20 regions. 20 regions, and 10 of them are already defined for us. Can any of them reach each other and be like the same region as each other? I don't think so. These are way too far away from each other. Yeah. Oh, also we have a 5 done immediately. Always grateful for that. This could join that. That would be fine. This either goes that way or that way. All right. Okay. Well, so you don't go horizontally. So you either go upwards, and that would be a cap if you hit there. Or you go downwards, that would be a cap. So within both those sets of 5, 5 like that, or 5 like that, those 3 are all together. I think. I hope. So then you come down this way. You don't go to the right because you're going to have to be this shape. Because if you do go to the right, to be that shape, you have to go down. Or continue that way. No, that wouldn't even work. So you must continue down this way. So this is true. You can't go to the right now. So this is the 3 parts. So there's got to be a 2 next to it. It can't be there. So it has to be here. And that makes you done. That makes you done. Oh. This goes up this way. So I guess this bit's going to fill in at the end, maybe. We'll just divide it up into 5s. Okay, not a bad start. This dude here can't join this. If it sticks into here, then it would have to be like that and be covering this. So I think actually the only way you can fit is like this. I'm pretty sure that's true. Am I missing something? I don't think so. I think that's the only way that can fit. Okay, that's you done. That puts you with that. So you need 1 more. It might be this. You need to not hit this. You could wrap around it, but it wouldn't leave enough space for you. You can't join this. I think it can have to be like that. It can't be like that. Yeah. Like if we do it with this. So you're not going to be in this layout because you join this thing. Or that layout because you hit this. Or that layout. Well, maybe actually that layout could work. The T's there. Yeah, that might actually be able to work, except that might be able to work. There might be a better place to start here. Maybe. These could be the same. To keep that in mind. Okay. Where's a good place next? So you're not going to join any of these. So whatever shape you are is your own thing. You could join here, you could go here, you could go here, you could go here. There's quite a few options for you. I like you, actually. You could do this. No, there totally would be space for you. In fact, that seems quite likely. But let's not do it. Can't go like that. Can't go like this. Can't go like that. Could go like that. Or could go like this. In fact, that would also work. So I shouldn't really say things could be likely, because that could also be likely. There's no such thing as likeliness. Only one thing is 100% likely, and everything else is 0% likely. That's just the way these puzzles work. I wonder if this is going to be something I can infer something from early. I don't think so, but I should keep it in mind just in case. Can I figure out where you go? I know I was thinking about it already, but... So we had this as a potential layout. Sorry, I didn't draw it very well. This as a potential layout. Or then if we're doing a 2x3, like a horizontal version of it, it's either there, in which case it would have to be like this, or it's here, in which case it has to be like this, but the T definitely wouldn't fit then, so that one doesn't work. So we've got two options basically. This, but that would join you to this. Okay, so there we go. There's a thing. A deduction there is that... yeah, okay, so here's a nicer way of putting this. This either joins this through both of them, or it joins neither. It goes through neither of these. So either it does this, or it does this. And how is that useful for me? How was that useful for me? It was useful somehow. What was it doing? I was saying like, so this could go like this. In which case this would have to go up. But it could just go to the right. Right? But this still can't fit down here. In fact, hold on. This can't be an edge, can it? Can it? No. Yeah. Oh, no, it could. Although that would definitely be a problem for you. Is there any other way this could fit in here? No, don't say no. It could be like that. But then that would have to go like that, and then this space would be left by itself, I think. But this is getting too deep. There's got to be something nicer. I felt like there was something with this that I realized, but then it went. If you're like this, then that's an edge. You're done. That's kind of interesting. At this point, if you go horizontally like this, then this is left by itself. If you go like this, the T doesn't fit. So you can just go like this, but then this can't be part of a 5. So I think that can't go like that. I think this has to be like this, and this goes like this. In which case, this can't join this, it has to be like that. Was that all true? I hope that was true. Can you join this now? If you were like this, what would that mean? The T could still fit. Yeah. Could you do this? No, because T can't fit in that situation. Could you do this? Yes. You still could do that. And the T would go out this way. Or that way. Yeah, there's quite a few options. I think what I've done so far is correct. I hope it is, at least. Is there something about like something about these affecting each other somehow? Maybe there's only one way you can go at this point. Start looking back at the shapes again. There's definitely a few ways you could go, but you could... I was going to say you couldn't be horizontal, but you could actually be horizontal there and sticking it up. Yeah. Okay. What do I do next? Can this ever go down? If this goes down, if this goes down, then either, well, it's not that. That's not the right shape. Then if that goes down, then it must go up as well, right? Is that true? Is that true? If that goes down, it must go up as well. So if it doesn't go up, it's either go that way or that way. So it's the turn, so it's the turning point. So then you're part of the T, the top part of the T in some way. But then you either go up like that or you don't, like this. Yes, that's true. And all of those are bad because this doesn't work out. This doesn't work out because then it traps you in a way. And this doesn't work out because it also traps you in a way. So this is an edge. Is that useful? I don't know how useful that is. It does mean you, I mean, we already knew you don't do that. Yeah, it's just another way of saying that, basically. So our options for you are this. Oh, maybe there is something about this at this point. Okay, so if this comes down here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, maybe I should reset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. But I don't know. You could join this. You could come along, join you, although that would be a problem for this. So you'd have to join this. But then this could still definitely still work. So yeah, I'm not sure. But interestingly, like if you block that, then we've got that much. Otherwise, I think the T is blocking it. So wait, that was this option. And the other option is this, right? In that situation, is there any version where this could work? Yes, that's that version. Okay. But that also works with this, although it doesn't really. Except that could be like that. Oof. Oof, too many options. Although, okay. Hold on, let's consider a few things. So if you stick out this way, then you can't go like this because this space can't go anywhere. You could go like that. That would be fine. All this stuff could continue. Okay, that's what you said. If you go that way, you go that way. Oh, also this would be trapped otherwise. If you go that way, you go that way. Is there any version of this where you do this kind of thing? No, because you'd be trapped. So then my other option for you, I believe, is just this, right? But then you are like this. Okay, so these two determine each other's direction. These two determine each other's direction. Either way, this comes down, doesn't it? Because either you're like this, like that. My worry is that I'm missing an option. And then you're like that, so this came down. Or you're like this, and you're like that, and this comes down either way. It's just about which shape is it part of. And make that an edge, so you'd have to go out that way. 1, 2, 3. So there is a problem here. This wouldn't work, but I feel like I've gotten too deep. But it's true, I think. Is it true? So I'm basically saying that that can't work because of this then. So my only option is this. Maybe. Wait, no, not that. This. Maybe. I hope. So that has to be open. These are going to have to join it. So you have to go that way. I hope. Don't join this. So, in fact, you're done. So you go this way. You could still join this. It could be like that. And you are one thing. If you go over the top, does it actually cause a problem for you? I think it does. If you go over the top, instead of joining that, then you have to squeeze in here. Still doable. Yeah, it's still doable, so maybe we don't do that bit yet. What about this guy now? You now have fewer places you could be. In fact, and now I think you can't go horizontally, so you are going vertical. But you could be going vertical and this column sticking out to here is an option. You're going one up this way or one up that way. Which way do we think? Either way, you're not becoming part of this shape. I know this. And you could still join this. Although if you did, you'd either be sticking out this way, cutting off this bit. That's not true. You could be sticking out down here. Yep, not true at all. If this is an edge, what does that do to you? If this is an edge, then this is an option for you. But that's not an option for you. So in fact, that would be the only option for you. I think that's the only option for you if this is an edge. So this would have to go this way. But then this would have to join that which it can't, or join that which it can't. So that's not an edge. This is part of that. There's probably nicer deductions to make here. So if this is like this, then it is like this, and it must be sticking out somewhere, but it can't stick out there or there because it leaves empty spaces. So it's sticking out into one of those two spaces. So this is true. We just don't know which way it goes, I think. I hope. This can't go into this space because if it did, it'd have to go over here, which it can't. So this. I'm almost certain these are going to be the same region, but almost certain isn't good enough. So this isn't this region, so this is this region. It has to be. This may stick out here, this may go upwards. If this goes upwards though, that one goes upwards. And I'm not sure I could then... it might still be possible for those to be separate regions. I couldn't pick them both up as one. If this goes up here and this goes up here, then I couldn't pick them up as one now, but you could go like that, and then you could... Actually, I don't think that could work. And it does imply that this goes down. Is that true? You go up, you go up. You can't pick up that. No, because you have to do that, and it's the same space as that thing. So you'd have to be your own thing. You'd have to go over this way. And then you would have to find some way of going to left or to right, which you can't do. So I think it's very deep, but whatever, we'll do this. I think it's fine. So this is this, at the very least. Ooh, interesting. So then if this goes that way, or that way, this isn't joining it. Not that tells me that much. That does mean that this is either coming over here or up here. If it comes over here, this would have to go which is fine, and then that, which is not fine. In fact, is it ever possible for these two to be the same shape? At this point? I don't think it is. Unless I've made mistakes earlier on, of course. Like those two joining would always hit you, wouldn't it? Because the only place we've got diagonals here is where there's a 3 diagonals. So yeah, it would hit all 3 of them. So those are not the same shape. It could, however, be like this. Well, not really. But I was saying that that can't go that way then, right? So this has to go upwards. I hope. I'm a bit worried. I'm very worried, actually. Because now I don't think I can fit these in. I've made a mistake, haven't I? No. Is that true? I think I've made a mistake. Those would have to join. Oops. I thought it was on this mode. And you can't do this. Can't do this. Yeah, I think we're stuck. Oh dear. How far back though? Okay, the bit I'm most worried about is this bit. Although isn't it already true? Like you've got 2 sides to you, so you are either on the end points or the corner, the elbows. So an elbow would do this, which would be a problem because it would hit that. An end point would do this, but then these have got a problem. Or this, but then that's got a problem. Or this, and that's got a problem. No. No. So I've already got a problem at this point, right? I think so. Because these can't go anywhere. I think so. Could you have been part of that? Is that an option I missed? Why did I put that there? I bet I thought... Yeah, okay, I was like, oh, this can't go down and still fit in, but I didn't realize it could be part of this shape. Yes. That's what I've missed. You are part of you. I believe. I believe. But that was definitely a deep bifurcation. Okay, let's say. So you either reach 2 away or you reach 1 in each direction. Let's say you reach 1 in each direction. What does that do for you? Well, we know you can't go over that way, so you'd have to go over that way, and that causes problems over here. So it can't go in both directions, so it must reach 2 in a direction. either like this, which it can't, like this, which it can't. So then our options are this or this. This leads to this, leads to this, leads to, well, no, in fact, immediately this leads to this being a problem. Yes, so you have to be part of that. Okay, there we go. That's that deduction done nicely, or at least nicely-ish. Nicely puzzles. So this only needs one more in this situation. This is going one more as well. How can this even slot into here? Like that, I guess? Is that the only way it can slot in? It can, maybe can be joined with you? Yeah, it could be joined with you. Okay. Don't jump too far ahead. So I do know that one of these two edges... No, I was going to say that has to be there, but that's not true. This doesn't force an edge on that side. This could turn into that. Can this be part of this? If it were part of that, this would be one of the end points. So it has to go 3 across that way and up, which it can't, or 3 across that way and up, which it can't. So this is not part of that, it must be part of this. So you're done. Okay. Now this can't be part of this, because if it were, it would have to go either out this way or around here and close this off. So this is part of this. So that's like that. At that point, this is the end point of one of these, in which case it has to go up and go to there. Is that true? That feels wrong. Hold on. That's not wrong though, is it? But then it feels wrong with this. Does it? No, not necessarily. It feels okay. That means you have to be like this. That does actually work for you. Okay. I hope this is going to add up. It must add up. Everything else is 5, so yeah. So then you either go up, but then that would cut off these two. So you don't go up, you go horizontally. So you're like that, so you're like this. You go up, and... Wait, that's not what I tried to do. I tried to draw a border. I guess I haven't done all the borders. There we go. Hooray! A 7 is done. Hurrah! Some of the 7s are actually not too bad. Like, I still feel like the 7 back here. This 7. No, not that 7. Further back. This 6, in fact. I thought the... Oh, I think one of them got lower. This has easily been the most, like... Just, like, mathematically tricky puzzle. I think this is easily the most advanced thing. Because it requires solving a puzzle in a way that is, like just kind of fundamentally different to the rest of the puzzle solving. This is what I call, like, math solving. You have to do things that are like you do much higher level things of like, well, there's only certain routes through that these things could go, and then there's like 3 over here and 3 over here, but 4 over here. I easily think that's the most difficult puzzle so far. But maybe I've just gotten better. But no, I still think it's true. I think I prefer that way of grading difficulty, not by like size or whatever, but more based on what you have to do while solving the thing. And I feel like what you have to do while solving this is harder than what you have to do while solving the puzzle that I just did. At least, like, maybe the intended deduction for the puzzle I just did is harder than what I did for that other puzzle, but there are like the option was there for me to do a little bit of just like, well, this can't fit this way because it would cause this problem. Like, if that option's there and is like easy enough to reach, it makes this feel more like a, like, this feels like a 6 and the other one feels like a 7, whereas the other one I feel like I couldn't have done without applying a more mathsy global solution to the whole thing. Anyway, we'll leave it there, folks. That might be everything for the Palisades. +5. Plus 5. Let's not look for more, otherwise I'll find one and I'll have to do it. Stop looking. Stop looking. Okay, maybe we're done. There's stuff down there. There's a 6 down there, but I guess that's for this area. I don't remember what it was. But let's remind ourselves of the 2. Oh, I guess it's mismatch, not palisade, but yeah. Okay, I mean, should we do it? Mismatch. All regions must have different shapes. Okay, it's not mingle shape. All regions must have different shapes. So you must be like that. So then we can't have a 1 or a 2 anymore. You can't come down this way because then you'd have to go into this, in which case you'd have to turn upwards, and then we'd have a problem with the border here. Same might be true this way. No, because you could then go that way. If you went this way. Okay, hold on. So down was a problem. If you go this way, there's also a problem, right? Because you'd have to go. In fact, we can do the thing where this definitely has to go upwards. So if you go into that, we have a 1 left over here, which we can't have. So this has to be like this, and it can't go downwards for the reason we said. So it has to go upwards. So it has to go this way. So it has to go this way. It may or may not stop. That does have to go there, though. That border is that. This may or may not stop as well. Okay. Well, that's a border. This has to be a different region, but it may go up. Okay. Well, so this can't go to the right, because if it did, it'd have to then go down, and we'd have a, well, no, it could be a 3. We do have a 3 down here, but it's not necessarily an actual 3. It might continue. If this were horizontal, this has to be part of this, and it'd be a 2, and we can't have that. So it's not horizontal. This goes like this. So you are done, and that goes like that. This may turn that way. It may not turn that way. Since you're done, now what? Once again, we still don't have a 3, so it could be a 3 there. If this goes horizontally, do we have a problem? Well, no, it wouldn't be that. It'd be this. With this thing down here. It can't be a 1. You can't be a 2. You could be a 3. You can't join upwards because then you'd be going to this space, which you can't. You know, it'd be cool in a note-taking thing like this is if it detected me drawing an X and then made that like one thing on the undo stack. Like it could probably make a good guess at that. Like, oh, it looks like they've drawn an X there. Or like you could do that for a bunch of like common things, like an arrow or something. I mean, it might be like overcomplicating the whole thing, but okay. So I think you do become a problem, except you could be on a 3. As long as these things stopped being a 3. I think this is not the nicest way to go here. What's the nicest way? It's only a 2. It's only a 2. Come on, it must be easy. How is it only a 2? Ah, okay. If this goes this way, I think this must be a 3. Because if this goes down, this could only ever be a 2. Or a 1. Yes, there we go. That's the thing. So this does go in there, and for the same logic, this goes in there, and so that is done. Just do this. Okay, so you come out this way. So you're the 3 like that, so you must continue. So you're a 3 like that. If you go across this way, this is going to have to go there, and we've got another 3, which isn't good, so that has to go that way. So you're done. Uh-oh. Problem. Oh, this could have joined. Okay, the different colours. It's always throwing me off. It leads me into bifurcations that I didn't mean to do. But this is a different region for sure. if you go that way, then this is left as a 3, which you can't have. So this does go upwards. In which case you join there. Okay, done. All right. See, that was harder than the 7. It was just a 2. Okay, maybe not quite, but not a million miles off. So we're 15 away there. So many puzzles in this game. So many freaking puzzles. It is kind of terrifying. Maybe we should just like start working towards this and give ourselves a break from this section. Maybe. Because I think we could break through to the next area. What's the requirement? I don't think it says actually, does it? Probably just doing the witch puzzles here. Probably doing this window eventually unlocks this, which then unlocks this fog. So yeah, maybe we'll do that next time. I know we've got loads of things around here to do, but why don't we mix things up even more by going further down here? Because it is feeling a lot. It's feeling quite like, oh my gosh, we're doing a lot of puzzles here. Kind of maybe too many. I definitely think, like, I get the reasons for having like so many puzzles, but I would probably trim this down a lot if it were my game. It's not my game though, so there's a 7 up there. All right, so yeah, maybe next time we'll start doing these and see if we can break through just to get a bit more variety. All right, see you then. Goodbye.